not supposed to be worshiping or celebrating some imaginary white boy on a stick
Hmm.
and an imaginary white boy in the sky. That is, I get so worked up about that because when I was coming up, that was what was forced on me. Even in traditional, non-denominational New Thought metaphysics, the European version of that was Jesus Christ is our way shower. Dude never walked the earth.
Mm.
Show me an artifact. We have museums around the world. You've dug down 100,000 years, 200,000 years. To get to 200,000, you have to go past 5 or 6,000, which is where the said dude was supposed to be hanging out. You can't find a sandal. You can't find a goddamn incense holder or nothing.
See, that's what I was saying, Rev. It seems like if you're gonna, because what that movie is talking about is their belief as black people, but also their religious belief. So if you're gonna attack what a religious piece of information says, you're not attacking the majority of what people in America believe.
Absolutely. There's nothing they can do because they can't not prove we were first. They can't do it.
There we go.
They can't do it. Even their own scholars, like, yep, they were first. And yes, they did all of this. And yes, we stole it and took it and smacked it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down and sold it back to them.
Now, we talked about the 6 items that Kyrie had to do. Now, when you see this type of thing, Rev,
I saw that list, man. I saw that list.
When you see them making him bend over to dribble a goddamn basketball.
Right. Well, it's kind of funny. Nick Cannon was on some platform talking to a Jewish guy, and he was explaining to the guy about buck breaking. And the Jewish guy said, I've never heard of that term. I don't know anything about that. Now, here's what's funny. Nick Cannon got buck broke.
He did.
Because Nick Cannon not only apologized, but he gave a shitload of money back to them as an apology. So here's the problem, Harrison. When your livelihood is dependent on the people who are oppressing you, they get to do this. They get to do this. That's not Kyrie's fault per se. He's owned by a particular establishment that made him a millionaire. That's made all of the entertainers millionaires. But you pay a price for that millionaireship. You pay a price for that lifestyle. They own you. So if they own you, you don't talk about the people who write your check, who pay for your school, who pay for your kids' school, pay for your clothing, pay for your mansions, pay for your lavish vacations. Right?
Yeah.
So he basically said, screw that. And he became really the new Kaepernick in a very real sense, right?
Yes, I believe that.
So he's looking like he's getting ready to become the Kaepernick of basketball, right? Of the NBA. But that's okay because, the same has happened with Kanye. Okay, Kanye lost $1 billion in a day, but he was still worth 400 million on his own. I'm not mad at. I don't know about you, Harrison, but if I woke up and I had $400 million and I lost $1 billion, but I kept 400, I'm still doing. I think the insurance is still getting paid, bro. I don't know.
I'm still good.
I think the car is still getting paid for and the house is still paid for. So we have to understand that this is what they do. And I'm kind of looking at it from this perspective of I'm liking what I'm seeing only from the sense that we are waking up and seeing what they do and how they do. This is modern day buck breaking. This is modern day shut up and dribble, stay in your lane, nigga. I pay you. I own you. We are the plantation owners. You have no rights. Yeah. We're beginning to see that with what they did with Whoopi Goldberg, Nick Cannon, Kaepernick, what they're doing with Kyrie right now. And the whole, it's like, this is the same narrative. Now, before they would take us out, strip us buck naked, tie us to a post, bring out our families, and they would beat us into submission in front of our children and our spouses and our family. Well, they don't do that anymore. So now what they do is they take your money away.
Financially,
Call
yeah.
up and don't Adidas, don't. And now Adidas has lost about, I think, $245 million worth of sales
Hmm.
because they dropped Yeet. They're hurt. They're willing to harm themselves just to keep us in line, but
Just
it's
to
not
keep us in
working.
line. Yeah, yeah. Now,
It's not working. This one is backfiring on their asses.
oh yeah, I want to talk
And
about
I
that.
have no problems with Jews or anybody. I know I've worked with a lot of them, and I know a lot of them. Have no problems with them as long as they understand their lane. That we know who we are,
Hmm.
and we know who you are not. That's all. If you
Oh,
can't
no,
handle
you
that,
are not. Yeah,
if
ain't
you
that
cannot
something?
handle that and live in that space, well, you got a really, really big problem. Because here's the rub: there's more of us than there are of you. You can't
Hmm.
silence all of us.
Hmm. And now,
So
with
some of us don't have NBA contracts, so I don't give a damn about what you think of me.
there we go, there we go. Now, talk to me about this real quick, because I want you to break down here in a minute the four frequencies. I think
Hmm.
every show I do with you, it's extremely important that you speak to that ideology. It's so damn powerful. Now, when we look at some of our brothers who are like NBA commentators, we're looking at black men on TV
Hmm.
who are championing the fact that Kyrie is an idiot. Something's wrong with him. He
Mhm.
needs to apologize. Break down for the people listening. What frequency is a brother in if he's in a position where he's getting paid by white folks and he's more inclined to speak to their benefit opposed to anything that could be empowering?
Well, we call that third frequency in our metaphysical framework. Um, More people would probably know the word coon. Um, so so when you look at now, Doctor Winters refers to it as whiteitis. There's a lot of terms that we use for. Well, let's take it back. Let's do a Sankofa on it if we could. So the person who gave us the real glory as to what happens when black people are faced for the first time with what we call this second frequency European. We're the first frequency. The European is the second frequency. What happens when first frequency people interface with